Item number SCP-6466, Labyrinth Meditation Talistone. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-6466 is to be quartered off from public access in a sealed 11 by 11 by 11 room. The floor is 1 foot deep from the door, filled with sand transported from the Megalos Caligaros islet in the Aegean Sea. The object is to be kept in the center of the room at all times, and access to SCP-6466 is restricted to Class Level 4 or higher clearance, with authorization of either the Site Director or O5 Council member. Description: SCP-6466 was located in the Megalos Caligaros islet, Greece. A small alcove where it could only be accessed for 30 minutes at low tide before being closed off from the Aegean Sea. The object has the appearance of a smooth stone with an engraving of the Labyrinth sigil. It is the size of any normal hand-held Talistone. The surrounding area of the SCP-6466 is a pattern of the same labyrinth that appears on the stone in a 5-foot radius. Even with the rolling tides, the pattern remains undisturbed unless the SCP-6466 itself is removed and placed elsewhere. Under observation, any sentient being coming within its radius begins to follow the path of the labyrinth until it reaches the SCP-6466 itself. When the sentient being picks up the SCP-6466, the being sits down in the center of the radius with the SCP-6466 in hand in a meditative pose. If the SCP-6466 is removed from the island, the sentient being under the control of the SCP-6466 will try to return back to its original location. If the sentient being dies in the process, the SCP-6466 would attract any other sentient being to its location to try to return it back to the original location. The Foundation has been able to use the sand from the island to transport back to the secured facility unit for containment. It is theorized that if a person is subject to being in control of SCP-6466, that they would remain in a meditative state until their body would die from malnutrition or illness. A request for research of SCP-6466 has been submitted. Discovery: SCP-6466 was discovered through the reports written by law enforcement when a missing person case came through. The missing person, Mr. Dennis Stedman, was located almost 2 weeks later on the shore of the Megalos Caligaros islet, Greece. Mr. Dennis Stedman was incoherent at the time when interviewed by local law enforcement. Recovering the statement made by Mr. Stedman had given us the location of SCP-6466. Several reports and interviews with those that have come in direct contact of SCP-6466 has been documented. SCP-6466 Missing Person Report 001. A date report filed 07/20/2015. A name of missing person: Dennis Stedman. birth date of missing person, complainant's name, complainant's address, cell phone, police officer signature, ID number, police department name, police department case number, file, stapled to a copy of Form GCP-79, considered the original and filed at Barrack. GCP Form 79, 0615. End file. SCP-6466 Police Incident Report Form 001. Date report filed 08/01/2015. Venue Greek Orthodox Monastery. Date of incident 08/01/2015. Time of incident 4:32 a.m. Brief description of incident. Missing person found on shore by when on morning rounds. Contacted local police and request for a medical emergency due to the severity of Mr. Dennis Stedman's physical and mental state. Mr. Stedman was transported to the hospital for immediate care. Contacted in regards to missing persons report filed. Case number, police records, police incident number, police attended, yes. Police officer name and ID number. Witnesses name and contact info. End file. SCP-6466 Interview Log 001. Interviewed Dennis Stedman. Interviewer SCP Agent 121 RE2. Forward. Dennis Stedman was exposed to SCP-6466 during Incident Report 6466-1. Police had transported Dennis Stedman to a hospital after being found on the shore of the Megalos Kaligeros islet in Greece. Mr. Stedman was undergoing treatments for dehydration.
August 5th, 2015. 9:30 a.m. Site 121, Interrogation Room Beta. Please state your name and age.
Dennis Stedman. I'm 23.
Thank you, Mr. Stedman. Please tell us what you experienced when you came into contact with this object.
I remember being in a maze. Like, out of one of those old movies with gladiators and that Medusa chick. I felt like I was like I was walking in it for days. Just before I woke up, I was being chased by something. The sound of something big.
And did you happen to see what was chasing you?
No. Only red eyes, and it reeked.
And can you describe the maze you were in?
Yeah. It was dark except for the torches. The walls had to be like several stories high, and sand on the ground. I couldn't see what was scattered, but it did crunch when I stepped on them. Can I go home now? I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Of course, Mrs. Stedman. We'll make sure you get home safe.
Closing statement. Mr. Stedman will remain under close observation for any signs of effects from SCP-6466. He has signed an NDA on SCP-6466. If any effects appear, Mr. Stedman is to be transported under sedation to Site 121 for further observation and testing. SCP-6466 Report 001.
August 11th, 2015, 3:42 p.m., Site 121, Autopsy Room Delta. Subject is a possible male. Age is around 15 to 18 years. Uncovered from the original site that SCP-6466 was found. Carbon dating on the remains is somewhere around 380 to 320 BC. Iron xephos and small red fibers were found with the remains of the subject. A possible theory is that this subject was part of the origin story of the Minotaur and Theseus. Remains will be put into storage at Site 121.
SCP-6466, Report 002, August 24th, 2015, 6 p.m., Site 121, Test Chamber Beta. Permission granted by the O5 Council to study the effects of SCP-6466. Subject 001 has entered the test chamber and is fitted with a harness attached to a wired rigging to remove the subject as a failsafe. The subject is walking to SCP-6466 at a normal pace. Upon reaching the exterior natural maze created through the Aegean sand from Megalos Kaligeros Islet, the subject has started walking through the path it has created in a relaxed posture. Subject 001 reached the center of the natural maze in 3 minutes and 52 seconds, and has picked up SCP-6466 following a sitting position. Note the transfixed forward gaze of the subject once it started walking through the natural maze, and even to the sitting meditation position. Shifts will be provided to monitor Subject 001 in the state to test the theory of how long the subject will last under normal conditions. End report. SCP-6466, Report 003, August 28th, 2015, 2:20 p.m., Site 121, Test Chamber Beta. Permission granted by the O5 Council to study the effects of SCP-6466. After several days, Subject 001 has not moved from their sitting position at the center of the natural maze, created by SCP-6466. Heart rate has been noted to have increased to 185 beats per minute in the last hour. I have authorized the use of the failsafe to pull the subject. Note the Aegean sand reforming back the natural maze around SCP-6466. Also note, Subject 001 is screaming. I have authorized the use of tranquilizers to calm Subject 001 and to be monitored, screened, then debriefed on the experiences that Subject 001 has had in contact with SCP-6466. End report. SCP-6466, Report 004, August 29th, 2015, 5:53 p.m., Site 121, Site Director's Office. After several attempts to calm Subject 001, medical staff was authorized to put Subject 001 under heavy sedation. Subject 001 seems incoherent and violent while in an awakened state. Medical staff has cleared the subject from physical testing, noting only the increased heart rate when the subject is no longer under sedation. However, due to the nature of his mental state, we will keep Subject 001 under close observation until we are able to screen and debrief him. The O5 Council requests reports of testing and if further subjects needed to confirm severity of object class and further containment procedures. End report. SCP-6466, Report 005, August 30th, 2015, 7:42 a.m., Site 121, Site Director's Office. O5 Council has authorized testing on additional subjects after being briefed on the current reports. They have given myself, SCP SD 121 TE5, full clearance and priority over SCP-6466 testing. As Subject 001 is still under sedation, I will go through candidate files to select the next set of subjects for testing and observation. End report. SCP-6466 Report 006 August 30th, 2015, 1 p.m. Site 121, Test Chamber Alpha. By the authority of the O5 Council, testing and observation of SCP-6466 is prioritized. Subject 002 is 5'10" with a background of 5 years in the military. Subject 002 has been fitted with the same harness emergency rigging and medical monitoring as the prior subject. Subject 002 has been briefed on information retrieval in a possible hostile environment. Subject 002 has been given the authorization to proceed to SCP-6466. Like Subject 001, the visual of Subject 002's face has gone into a trance-like state and is following through the maze. Subject 002 has completed the maze at 3 minutes and 52 seconds, and has also sat down in the same meditative pose as Subject 001. Any footsteps that Subject 002 has made are now gone as the sand resets back to its undisturbed state. As of 1:13 p.m., Subject 002 is now under SCP-6466 influence. Shifts have been provided to monitor Subject 002's physical state. Emergency measures have been authorized if the subject is shown through the medical monitors as in serious distress. End report. Closing statement. Both subjects were able to complete the maze at the same exact time. Further testing will be done to see if there is any grounds for the time itself. SCP-6466 Report 007 September 7th, 2015, 11:53 p.m. Site 121, Test Chamber Alpha. Subject 2 has started to show medical signs of dehydration and increased heart rate like the prior subject. Authorization of emergency extract of the subject is underway. Subject 002 shows similar signs as the prior subject upon release of SCP-6466 and has been quickly sedated for observation, testing, and debriefing. End report. SCP-6466 Debrief Log 001 Interviewed Subject 002 Interviewer SCP SD 121 TE5 Forward. Subject 002 has been cleared of physical examination. However, the condition of his mental state is still in fight or flight mode. As we attempted to get a debriefing, he showed signs of PTSD, high anxiety, and incoherency. September 9th, 2015, 4:38 p.m. Site 121, Medical Floor Alpha, Room 17. Please state your name and rank. Do you remember anything before going near SCP-6466?
Did you hear that?
What was it you heard?
Nothing. It's okay.
Again, do you remember anything before going near SCP-6466?
I remember being told to walk towards it. No, don't do that. It's crazy. Don't go near the thing. Don't do that. Left, right, left, forward. No, that's not right.
What's not right?
The path. It keeps moving.
The path in the maze?
No. No maze, please. No maze. Lose path. Left, right, left.
Did you encounter anything in the maze?
Red eyes, gnashing teeth, pounding of feet, reeks of death, coming after me, coming for you, can hear the sound of the devil's hooves.
Did you encounter this?
Red eyes, gnashing teeth, pounding of feet, Reeks of death coming for me, coming for you! Can hear the
Please
devil's
sedate
hooves.
Subject 002. End log. Closing statement. Subject 002 will be monitored and given proper psychological treatment in hopes for a proper debriefing and to reverse the mental strain on the subject's psyche. SCP-6466, Report 008. September 10th, 2015, 10:52 a.m. Site 121, Test Chamber Alpha. By the authority of the O5 Council, testing and observation of SCP-6466 is prioritized. Subject 003 is 4'8", female, and has a background as a black belt in multiple martial arts, and is an 8-year survivalist. Subject 003 has been fitted with the same harness emergency rigging and additional medical monitoring equipment to include brainwave patterns along with several IVs to keep the subject in a healthy condition. Subject 003 has been briefed on information retrieval in a possible hostile environment. Subject 003 has been given the authorization to proceed to SCP-6466. Again, Subject 003's face has gone into a trance-like state and is falling through the maze. Subject 003 has completed the maze at 3 minutes and 52 seconds, and has also sat down in the same meditative pose. Any footsteps that Subject 003 has made are now gone as the sand resets back to its undisturbed state. It must be noted now that the time to complete the maze is consistent. It is unknown as the reason why the completed time is the same. As of 11:03 a.m., Subject 003 is now under SCP-6466 influence. Shifts have been provided to monitor Subject 003's physical state. Emergency measures have been authorized if the subject is shown through the medical monitors if the subject is in any serious distress. End report. SCP-6466, Report 009. September 15th, 2015, 3:57 p.m. Site 121, Test Chamber Alpha. Authorization of emergency extract of Subject 003 was granted. The subject has shown high levels of distress, both mentally and physically. Subject has what appears to be blood dripping from the nose, ears, and mouth. The medical team, upon removing the safety harness, has tried to revive Subject 003 with unfortunate results. Subject 003 has been ordered to be transferred for an autopsy. As the Site Director, I have put a halt on further testing until the cause of death can be determined. The O5 Council will be updated on the progress of SCP-6466. End report. SCP-6466, Report 010.
September 14th, 2015, 11:30 a.m. Site 121, Autopsy Room, Delta. Subject 003 from SCP-6466 test on September 15th, 2015. Outward appearance shows blood coming from the ears, eyes, nose, and mouth. No other external damage is seen. Upon examination of the inner torso cavity, it appears there was internal bleeding, with no internal organ damage. Review of Subject 003's brain also shows no damage as well. The only conclusion as the cause of death is internal hemorrhaging.
SCP-6466, Report 011. September 14th, 2015, 1:10 p.m. Site 121, Site Director's Office. I have received SCP Researcher 121 VA3's autopsy report on Subject 003. After careful review of the information on SCP-6466, I have submitted to the O5 Council to have its object class to Euclid, and plans drawn up to contain SCP-6466 at Site 121's Containment Level F. I have also requested for Mr. Dennis Stedman to be transported back to Site 121 for further testing. His mental state is in better condition compared to that of the test subjects. If Subject 002's incoherent speech is correct, then why is it that Mr. Stedman does not act in the same manner? Mr. Stedman shall arrive at our facility by tomorrow evening. I will attend the psych evaluation. End report.